Hey folks, Chris Granrud here with Rainydaze Guide Service, and I'm sitting down here with Brett McComas from Target Walleye, and we were just discussing some ice fishing rods, and we thought this would be a really interesting clip. There's been a lot of talk in regards to spring bobber rods or just light action rods when it comes to fishing big panfish, and the reality is that you don't need just one rod. You probably need 2 or 3 different rods. So we thought it'd be an interesting clip to cover, and basically what I'm going to do is just talk to you a little bit about the different rods here. This happens to be a JT custom rod, and this is obviously it's a spring bobber rod. This is an integral spring bobber, which means it's built into the rod itself, and it actually has a nitinol spring, which means that it really has no memory to it. That's a little bit different than a lot of spring bobbers that are on the market, but this rod in particular is a rod that I'll use for Finesse plastics. So people oftentimes will send me messages online. They'll say, Granrud, what rod do we need for big crappies? Well, it's not a universal answer. If you're fishing Finesse plastics, little tungsten jigs here, this happens to be a Clam Pro Tackle dropkick jig. With this, I would use a spring bobber. It picks up that really, really light bite, an up bite for crappies or bluegills. But you can see, I can put this down and I can watch that and I can pick up that really, really light movement. On this rod, you want a little bit of load so you can pick up that up bite. If it was perfectly straight, you can't pick that up bite up. So a little bit of load, and then you're gonna drop down, drop up, that's a fish. Now, this is not the right rod for a jigging spoon. So when people, again, you can't have one rod. If I'm fishing a jigging spoon, I have to have more of a feel rod. And again, there's a couple different ways of detecting bites. One is to actually visualize it, one is to feel it. But if I put this jigging spoon on this other bob here, the panhandle or the spring bobber just wouldn't work. So a jigging spoon, once again, is gonna be a little heavier, and now I can feel that bite. So again, you need a couple different rods for fishing panfish, and it all depends on what you're actually using. So hope this is gonna be useful for you. Chris Granrud with Rainydaze Guide Service, talk to Brett McComas with Target Walleye.